Chapter 1. We're here, Jessie. Can you believe it? We drove down a steep grade, rounded a corner, and suddenly there it was, my river of dreams, coursing through the desert like a streaming emerald jewel. It was almost too good to be true. Tomorrow we'd rig rafts and start once more down the Colorado River, down Marble Canyon, and into the Grand Canyon. Star and I had the windows rolled down. Our hair was flying and our spirits soaring as we pulled into the parking lot in the asphalt-melting heat of early June. We're actually back at Lee's Ferry, Jessie. I know, I replied, already buzzing with adrenaline. And this time, Star, the trip's gonna be legal. The launch ramp immediately below the lot was a mob scene. People were milling around, trucks were unloading mountains of gear, and guides for the river companies were handing life jackets to tourists as they stepped from buses. Star and I got out of the car, stretched, and started looking for Al and Adam, or a van that said Discovery Unlimited. I realized more than a little sheepishly that we might be looking for the same van we'd borrowed last October. Meeting up with Al, the owner of Discovery Unlimited, was going to be a little strange. We ditched out on him last time, when he was getting ready to take us on the San Juan River, and we pirated the Grand Canyon with his rafts instead. Hearing from Al had been a complete surprise to Star and me, especially when we realized he was inviting us to come along on his counselor's training trip down the Grand Canyon. His letter explained that we'd be interns, some kind of resource people for the new counselors, just for this one trip. We weren't exactly sure what being interns meant, but we knew we wanted to go. And one of our old cohorts was going to be with us. Adam had somehow talked Al into hiring him onto his regular summer staff, so it would be the three of us back together again. Meeting up with Adam was going to be delicious. We knew that Al hadn't told him we were coming. In the letter, Al said to keep it a surprise. We kept scanning the parking lot and the ramp. "Where's our red-headed ninja?" Star muttered impatiently. Right then we heard our names shouted and looked to see, emerging from the mob scene, not Adam and Al, but a guy and a girl who were familiar yet not instantly recognizable. Star and I did a simultaneous double take. Sure enough, it was Rita and Pug, the thief of Brooklyn and the big fella. They were running toward us. Rita, hyper as ever, was outrunning Pug. I realized what was different about her. Her dark hair was cut short and bouncy. Pug looked different, too, leaner, older. He was wearing a green baseball cap with the word "case" on it. He had a huge smile on his face, as if Rita and Star and I were his long-lost best friends. I was thinking, what in the world is he doing here? Does he think we all have amnesia? "Holy cow!" Rita hollered. "I don't believe this!" It was so good to hear Rita's New York accent, even to have her face practically in mine. But I was short-circuited by the thought that Al had invited her and Pug, in addition to Star and me, to join his counselors for their training trip. Especially Pug. The big fellow was pointing at our rear fender. "I like your bumper stickers." On the spot, I should have said that I couldn't believe we were even having this conversation. Had Pug forgotten that we'd split into 2 camps last time, and that he and his partner Troy were on the other side? He seemed genuinely happy to see us. Like a big puppy dog, I thought. All innocence 5 minutes after leaving a big deposit in the middle of the kitchen floor. "Guess whose sticker is which?" Star invited him. Pug scratched his 2-day whiskers, then took off his baseball cap and ran his hand over his head, about a month grown out from a crew cut. "Let's see," he began slowly. "Practice random acts of kindness."